The following program is underwritten by the Nevada Irrigation District. Since 1921, providing clean and healthy drinking and irrigation water to more than 24,000 homes, farms, schools, and businesses in Nevada and Placer counties.
Lew Sitzer. This is NCTV Interviews, and today we're going to be learning about the lives and adventures of students at Nevada Union High School, and we are going to be interviewing the host of the foreign exchange program. I want to introduce to you our guests for today, Mrs. Joey McCutchan, who is a Spanish teacher at Nevada Union and has been organizing the foreign exchange program for about the last 15 years. Welcome. And Addie Burton-Walsh, who is going to be going to Spain for a year, now attending Nevada Union. And Grant Poteet, who will be traveling to Japan this summer as part of an exchange. We'll talk about that program in just a bit. And lastly, Malin Husefest, who is from Norway and has spent the last year here in the United States, primarily in our community and attending Nevada Union High School, but also we'll be hearing about some of her adventures as she has visited the United States and elsewhere. So first, Ms. McCutchan, if you wouldn't mind giving us an introduction to the overall foreign exchange program, how it works, and how we can continue to develop and grow it here.
Founded by ambulance drivers during World War I, and their idea was that we could build a more peaceful world if people could live, if students could live with families in other countries and learn their culture firsthand. So the mission is to build a more peaceful world.
And that's happened since World War I. The mission has been in place. How long has it been in our community?
Oh, at least 20, 25 years or more. I'm not sure, but it's been here a long time.
Right. So it fosters a lot of understanding between countries, and students, our community benefits by the students who come here as well as those who leave from families to travel abroad.
That's right. We have students every year who travel to Europe, South America, Asia, just about every peaceful country in the world. And we also place 4 exchange students at Nevada Union or Bear River every year.
About how many do you have each year, approximately?
Well, we have 4 exchange students each year, but there are other programs that place students at Nevada Union too. And this year we had almost 20 exchange students from, a lot of students from Germany, some from Vietnam, Thailand.
So would you say the programs overall are growing?
Yeah, in popularity, yes, they are.
Great. Well, before we go on to where our students will be traveling, I'd be interested in hearing from you, Malin, about sort of a little bit of your background in Norway and what motivated you to come here, and whether you selected this community or whether it was given to you. How did that come about?
Well, I have always wanted to go abroad for a year, and my mom was in the United States for a year when she was 16. So I think that's why I picked the United States. She actually lived right down in Palo Alto. I didn't have no idea where I would come. I could have come to the East Coast or in the middle, or so I thought I was very fortunate to end up in California.
So did you think everyone here would have surfboards?
I've been here, I've been here before, so I knew what I was coming to, but I think that's the impression of California in general.
Right, and so you've traveled around not only here in the States, but also in Europe. And where have you gone, and what has the travel experience contributed to you?
Well, I've traveled a lot with my family because it was always a priority, and we always talked English, and we always saw new places, and we rented cars, and we drove inland and just outside the tourist areas. And I'm always interested in seeing new places. The summer of 2005, I went to Malta to learn English mainly for 3 weeks, and that was just a lot of fun, and I saw so many places and met a lot of people, and that also made me want to go abroad to take a year and just meet new people.
Well, when I was a teacher at Nevada Union and elsewhere at Bear River, I taught history, world history, United States history, government, and one of the things I always said to students is the best education is travel. Get out into the world, see other cultures, meet other people, see how the other people live and work, and it gives you a much better perspective on life and maybe even on career. So do you think that, where do you think you're headed?
Oh, I went down to Mexico in February with Interact, and we helped kids with tooth hygiene, and it just made me want to travel all over into poor places and help out and volunteer and maybe work in UN. That would be.
So how many languages do you know now?
I've taken German for 5 years, so I know German. I'm not fluent in German, and then Norwegian, of course.
And then English.
In English.
Yeah,
So.
and it's very common, I find, for students all over the world to know and speak a second language, and sometimes a third or fourth language, because their countries are closer to one another, or maybe they see the need more to learn another language besides their own. So I want to compliment you on your ambitious curiosity, and I'm sure we'll hear more. So Addie and Grant, let's talk a little bit about your language skills and what motivated you to apply for the exchange program.
Very well. I've only taken 2 years of high school Spanish, so I'm not at all fluent, but at least I kind of have a base, which I think will help me a lot when I go to Spain. What got me interested in the program was I went to Costa Rica during the summer, and we stayed next to an immersion school, and just since then I've really wanted to do some kind of immersion program.
So you've had some travel experience already.
A little bit.
And so you're going to be away now how long?
A year.
And so what do you know any knowledge about where you're going to be going, who your host family is?
Not yet. That should be coming soon, but I haven't heard yet.
And when do you plan to leave?
I should leave the beginning of September.
So you have a while to prepare.
Yeah.
Right. And are you doing any fundraising for this?
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of fundraising, and we've done a lot of fundraisers, with AFS. We've been working together to do joint fundraisers. We did a dinner at Siemens Lodge a little while ago, and put on a midnight movie. And I've just been babysitting and trying to save up money.
So part of it is personal, your own, and part of it is with the organization?
Yeah.
And what enabled you to find out about American Field Service?
They do presentations at NU, and I had been wanting to be an exchange student. I didn't know what program, and then I just saw a presentation, and it sounded really good.
So in looking at your year away, do you have any expectations? Something that you would like to have happen?
Well, yeah, I want to learn Spanish, and I just think by going it should like make me a more well-rounded person, and like I don't know, just experiencing a different culture like sounds really good, and I just hope to have a lot of fun.
Now, Ms. McCutchan, you've led lots of programs all over, and maybe tell us a little bit about what your experiences have been as you travel with students, traveling to other countries.
Well, I took a group of students to Japan last summer, and that was, it's just so exciting for students to be outside their normal sphere of comfort, and just to realize that the simplest things that they take for granted at home are so different in another country. For example, the bathrooms in Japan are really different. Everyone washes before they take a bath, and they all take a bath in the same clean bath water, and the bath water is warm, and it's something you look forward to after you get used to it. It's huge, nice, big, deep bathtub that you can just sink down into and relax. And the food was for breakfast. The meals in Japan are almost the same for breakfast as they are for dinner. Like we're surprised that they would serve salads and soups at breakfast time, along with fish and noodles, and the same meals were available at dinner. So, but the kids, I think, the universal benefit of traveling abroad is that students always mature. They discover their personal resources and develop confidence that they didn't have before. And a lot of that comes from dealing with difficult situations. Every bump leads to a stronger person.
Well, your story reminds me of a terribly embarrassing incident that happened to me. In my early travels about 40 years ago, I went to Japan and backpacking, and I'm exhausted at the end of the day. Finally found this hostel that is accommodating, and I knock on the door, and it's past the hour where they've closed, and the man says, "Well, we've already closed, but of course you're welcome." Very gracious, "Of course you're welcome," and of course you can bathe and clean up. And so I go into the bathroom not knowing any of the customs, and I see this beautiful large bath. It's much larger than the bathtub. It's a communal bath. Nobody's there. And so I sit in this communal bath, and I soap up, and I'm washing myself and feeling oh so relaxed and clean, not knowing that this is meant to be very clean water and that you should bathe beforehand, scrub and clean beforehand. So the next night, the man who greeted me at the door said, "Please come with me and we can bathe." And so very graciously, without ever criticizing me, he took me through the motions of essentially how to clean yourself when you're in Japan, and then how to bathe in this communal tub, which is very clean. And I realized how awful I left it the night before. So it was very humbling. And also the introduction to the culture, which was very gracious. So Grant, I know you're going to Japan soon. And when does, tell us a little bit of your interest and motivation.
Well, I really became interested in Japan for learning the language, which is the main reason I'm going. That and the culture, which really started when I did start watching anime, which is cartoons and TV shows that come from Japan and are dubbed into English. So I got to watching those, and I became really interested in what is the real Japan like. And with that, it just led to joining up with AFS and hopefully going abroad.
And when does this trip begin for you?
The trip itself, as in like the plane flight?
Yeah.
It begins on the 26th of June. I'll be taking my 15-hour or so flight, oh so enjoyable, across to Japan.
But you'll be taking your little anime, DVD with you so you can listen and watch?
I'm sure I'll be bringing something to keep me busy.
Right. Yeah. The Japanese have a wonderful history of animation. Dating back decades. They have actually been in the forefront of many innovations in animation. So I'm sure that your experience will be rewarding. How do you plan to learn the language?
Well, the program itself is a home language study. So I will be staying with a host family while I'm in there, but I'll also be attending language classes at probably a nearby school and learning it through that.
And does this, I would imagine, being away just a summer instead of a year? Is this, are you also fundraising?
Yes, I also did the same fundraising that Addie did with our silent auction dinner and our midnight movie.
And what movie was shown?
A Night at the Roxbury.
Okay, I haven't seen that.
Well, neither have I.
Oh, so
I hear it's funny though.
Oh, you didn't go to the fundraising? Well, I'm surprised for someone interested in movies and process.
Who said I had to go?
Pardon?
Who said I had to go?
Oh, right. Yeah. No, it's true. So I'm just wondering about if we could talk a little bit about the YES program, because most people don't know about it.
Okay. Well, this year we found out about the YES program. I guess it's been around for 2 or 3 years. And the idea is that we would just want our students, our teachers, everyone to get more familiar with people from Muslim countries and try to develop more of a acceptance and understanding with the whole idea of building peace. And so we have 3 or 4 students that are available for hosting. One actually has been chosen, and she's from Ghana. She's a dancer, and she's going to be attending Bear River. And we have a girl from Indonesia, and she's a strong debate, and she likes music and reading, and a lovely young lady. And there's a boy from the Philippines? Egypt. And so we would love to get those kids at either Bear River or Nevada Union. And then there are other AFS students that look fabulous as well. There's a girl from Germany that sings and dances, plays piano. She looks like she would be a really great addition to Nevada Union. But we're hoping that we can place these YES students because it's such a great way to build peace in the world. And I think we'll all learn a lot from the experience.
I must say that as a high school teacher, I most enjoyed the foreign exchange students because growing up in a small community like this, we're often not aware of the rest of the world. And the foreign exchange students would bring a different perspective, a different life experience. Often they would have a lot to contribute in the classes. And so it was really helpful to have them. They were often very motivated. And one of the things that they consistently said about life in the United States is that they found the United States, and I'd like to hear your comments on this, Malin, they found life in the United States to be very welcoming, very friendly, very superficial, in the sense that everybody was interested, everybody was friendly, and then almost nothing afterwards? In other words, where does this friendship go? Is there any depth? Is there any commitment? Are we going to be friends beyond hellos? And often there wasn't that. And I was wondering, how was that experience for you?
I think that sounds very familiar. Everyone said, "Oh, hi, we should hang out and just how we're doing," and and so I never heard from them again. And what is this? I'm not used to this. So, but I think I have made some really good friends and a lot of friends that I realize now that I don't really know. I don't really go deeper than this. So I think that sounds right compared to what I'm used to.
Yeah, it's actually, it was voiced over and over again as a disappointment because, of course, what is very important for us all, but particularly at teenage years, is friendship, is the social life with one another. And so often the foreign exchange students provided that for one another. Often because you had similar experiences, you sort of bonded together. And I know Mrs. McCutchan often had ways in which to bring students together. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, it's been different from year to year, but one thing that's always a success is we have a pizza making party at my house in the beginning of the year. And the students bring various toppings for pizza, and then we taste them and, compare. And it's just a really, really fun way to have a communal experience, appreciate each other.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The students may not know this, but probably if they have you in class, they know this, that Ms. McCutchan is also a prominent member of Saborosa, which is a Latin American musical performing group that's just wonderful. And I didn't know if they were introduced to that at any point.
Sometimes they've gone to some of our performances, but it hasn't been like a planned experience. But yeah. We also sponsored salsa classes this year, and Dominique Del Charo came into the school and taught for 6 weeks, and that was a lot of fun. Kids really liked that. And we're going to do that again next year. And the exchange students all participated in that.
Yeah, great.
Sometimes we'll go on ski trips. And we've always gone to a Sacramento Kings game. And we're going to do more of that next year, too.
So without trying to put you on the spot, Malin, do you have any peak memory moments that you will take back with you of stories or incidents or events that happened here?
Well, I don't remember like one peak story, but just like Thanksgiving was really nice because of the food and the family getting together, and we went to my first football game. It's just a big deal because we watch it on movies, but we don't really know how it really is. And just Christmas, and I went to Mexico, as I said, and we went up to Idaho, and I've been down to Disneyland, which was a lot of fun, and senior ball was fun. So yeah.
Well, when you go back home and you're going to talk about what was similar and what was different between life in Norway and life here, does anything come to mind as what is different about our cultures?
There's a lot of similarities since we're a Western country and so is America. I think it seems like in Norway we are more social just in weekends and after school, and I mean maybe people are like that here, but it just seems like because we always hang out and I hang out with the same people, but here there's so many different people and you have so many different friends, and it's just, I don't know, yeah, like that.
Do people use cell phones here more than in Norway, or about the same?
I think it's about the same.
Because they seem to be very present in student lives.
Yes, they are.
Definitely.
How long did it take you to overcome being homesick?
It took about 2 months, and then it's been just up and down and up and down, and now the last times it's just every day up and down and up and down, so
And
it's just always a lot of emotions.
And when are you leaving to go home?
I'm going home, I'm leaving Grass Valley on the 29th, and I'm going home on the 1st of July. Yeah.
Okay. So again, if there are any reminders?
Yeah, I'd just like to let people know that it is such what a great experience it can be to host an exchange student, because it gives you a chance to enjoy your everyday experience through new eyes, and it's also an opportunity to do things together as a family that you might have been putting off. When you have an exchange student, it just kind of inspires you to appreciate the things around you a lot more. And also, your house can be even more full of activity because the exchange student brings their friends. I mean, phones were ringing constantly when we had an exchange student.
We hosted an exchange student over 20 years ago, and we still maintain contact with her and her new life. She's an English teacher in Japan now, and she has a child that we keep informed about. So it's often a lifelong association. But now it's time to end the show, and I want to thank each of you and wish you the best, Grant, and Addie. I know it's going to be a great experience. I hope you'll bring back students, particularly from the YES program, during this next year, so that we can learn all about it and maybe have Addie and Grant back as well. Yeah,
well, we have one. Looking forward to placing another one.
Okay. Well, again, thanks for watching NCTV. This is a community program, also community member station. We hope that you will continue to watch NCTV, become a member, volunteer. I want to thank Gail Woodman for volunteering along with Marilyn Blom to make this program possible. And Bill Carquest, our engineer. Thanks, Bill. Again, tune in again sometime. Thanks for watching. Thank you.